ladies and gentlemen, Steemians. We're gonna watch one of my favorite shows on crypto.
Hello everyone, Vincent Briatore here.
Let's
As promised, today I want to discuss Tron.
shit.
I know
Let's
there's been
watch
a
it.
lot of speculation
about
around
Tron.
the Tron TRX project. Apparently, a lot of people were calling it a scam. There were a lot of
I don't know what
talk
it is.
of the CEO Justin Sun supposedly dumping a lot of the pre-mined coins. There's also people were saying that their white paper was largely plagiarized. So what I wanted to do is go ahead and take and investigate all this information and try to deliver it in the best possible way with, I suppose, so you can make your own mind up, but also I'll kind of let you know what my personal opinion is. For those of you guys that don't know what Tron is, it is a project
I have been hearing
headed
about
by
it.
Justin Sun, who was the protege, I suppose, of the Alibaba CEO. Anyhow, Tron is an extremely ambitious project. Their GitHub started in December, and I've been following up on that GitHub and doing some investigations and looking at who contributes code and seeing how the project is moving, and also comparing it to other projects to see if I believe that the timeline and if the projects that they're trying to achieve are reasonable. You know, as we have known, whether projects are reasonable or not doesn't always correlate to the price fluctuations. Technology and price are two separate things. But anyhow,
I'm
okay, we said CEO's
streaming,
Justin Sun.
but we're watching
Not Justin
Vincent
Sun,
Briatore.
but Justin Sun, like sun in the sky. Apparently, in China, people tend to keep their Chinese name and then use a Western name. Anyhow, the CEO
I started wearing really nice looking
like I
suits
said, of Alibaba CEO,
because I remember
who has always been
not
very
too long ago
against
he was just
the
posting
idea of
t-shirts and this hat that he
Bitcoin
would
and
wear all the time.
cryptocurrencies. But as we have seen over the past few years, most of these entrepreneurs or naysayers, if you will, tend to change their mind once they see how profitable it can be. As a matter of fact, I think Alibaba never did allow Bitcoin.
Oh shit. Internet's dragging.
As a form of payment. And if they had, it's been recent. I think the CEO one time stated that he would never do that. But anyhow, they are a very ambitious project, Tron. They're pretty much trying to do everything. That's why, you know, the idea of the plagiarized white paper, when I first heard of it, it's like, that could kind of make sense, you know, because they're trying to do so much, like everything, like a platform for ICOs, a currency. They're even just released the crypto dogs, which is kind of the similar to, well, actually identical almost to the Ethereum's CryptoKitties sensation. So as far as that, they have delivered that
Fucking
project.
dogs.
I think it came out yesterday. So I saw that. I'm kind of investigating that project. I've been looking at it. I'm like, okay, so at least they have delivered that code. Now, if you go to the GitHub, you'll notice that there's not as many developers as you would want there to be. And when you look on GitHub, there is the place where it says contributors and lists all the contributors, but that's not really where you want to look. You want to look at the actual code and look at the people that are pushing code, and there's not that many. The project did not start in December. They added a GitHub, but I think the first day they started the GitHub, they added a file. They had like 30,000 lines of code. So it's obvious that there had been months and months
30,000 lines of coke
prior to this. As far as Justin Sun, so anyway, they're trying to do so many different projects that it's exciting, but at the same time can seem daunting. Their timeline is 10 years. And I don't know. They're trying to do so many different things. Like I said, being a jack of all trades and a master of none has always been one of those things that I've not been a fan of. I'd rather someone specifically focus on one thing and do it extremely well. And also, this fact that they're trying to do everything is almost like they're trying to have a flavor for everybody. So they're trying to reach out and have the most investors possible because they'll have something that everyone likes, something for everyone. But anyway. So far, they have pushed some code, okay, and they have done the crypto dogs, so I'm happy about that. But for a long time, if you look under their GitHub, a lot of issues are coming. A lot of people with a lot of issues that are not being promptly solved. That's another thing that you want to see, a responsive team that helps with these issues. Now, one thing's for sure, I did some investigating, and as far as the rumors that Mr. Justin's son dumped a bunch of pre-mined coins that were specifically in the white paper, said that they weren't going to be sold or dumped or whatever you want to call it.
Dude,
Unfortunately, this is not something that I can prove. All the information that is out there doesn't conclusively show whether or not this has happened. So I'm going to refrain from discussing that altogether. There's also articles out there about that attack Justin's son's character. Also, things I'm not really going to
Maybe
address
it's just
because I want to
reading it
address
from
one thing
different
that is
sources or
actually true
something.
that you have to take in consideration. The white paper is largely plagiarized. I looked up some articles that said they have since taken it down, but it is incredibly largely plagiarized. Pretty much every section except the introduction is plagiarized from other projects. And in the summary, I'll list which projects it's plagiarized from. I think I have some charts up here showing all the parts that are actually plagiarized. It's pretty surprising. So Justin Sun obviously on Twitter gave a response to this. His response was that the white paper was translated by volunteers, and in the original Chinese version, it wasn't plagiarized and had a lot of references. That's another thing. There's 0 references for the white paper. Anyhow, someone actually was able to pull the Chinese version because they have since pulled all the white papers off the website, and they were able to look at it, and it's totally false. The Chinese version is plagiarized as well and has no reference. This is very disturbing, and I think most people, when they hear about this, are like, oh, it's completely baseless. Why would a $14 billion company plagiarize their white paper? And it's like, well, why would a $14 billion company work solely with volunteers and give, because that's what Justin Sun's excuse was for the plagiarization. It was like, well, it was volunteers. And that's hard to believe. Why are you letting this important kind of stuff be done by volunteers, and why at least the volunteers should be supervised? The work should be, you should have a third party that looks over the any type of code or changes that are made by volunteers before they go live on the platform. I mean, that's common sense. So this to me shows that Justin Sun is not taking this project very seriously. There's a lot of issues that are going unsolved on GitHub, only a few people pushing code, and we're blaming volunteers for a pretty drastic thing that the majority of the white paper is plagiarized. The white paper is pretty much the heart of any project. Without a white paper, you have no soul. The white paper is more than just a roadmap. It details in technical terms and simple terms exactly what you're trying to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and when you're going to achieve it. It is the backbone of any project. So, and it would be the number one thing that I would focus on, even before the website. The white paper would be what I focus on. Serious investors read the white paper. People care about the white paper. That's why you always hear people talk about the white paper. So when I hear, okay, the white paper is plagiarized, then it must, I mean, he was aware of it. He had to be aware of it. There's no way the CEO, and if the CEO didn't read the white paper, then he's incompetent. So this shows me that he obviously did not put a lot of priority. He didn't prioritize the white paper or this project in any way, and just let volunteers run the show. It's very disturbing, and this makes me question a CEO that's willing to let the white paper be plagiarized. Is it one that would not dump the points? Because there's definitely points that would dump large quantities.
Some of them fuckers are investing
There is
in that shit.
the
I
shadow
know a few
of doubt
people that have some of that.
for Justin Sun, but I think it is probable that it was him that he dumped some coins. But we have no proof, obviously, because it's very hard to tie wallets and transactions back to individuals. There's been a lot of people have investigated, but
what's his name?
there's not concrete proof.
On
However,
Facebook, he's
as
the
far as
dude that used to do
character
shows
goes,
with you.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like there's that chance. But
he's
anyway,
yeah, I think he's got some of that.
No,
Con is a
he
very
was
ambitious
talking
project
about
that
it.
has
Every time
delivered
I go on his
500%
posts, he's
returns
always
to
talking about
DJ
that.
Raven,
Yeah,
yeah.
that guy.
He's had a
That
pullback,
He's
but the
got some
pullback
of
kind of
that.
matches
I
up
think
He was talking
with
about.
the
He said you
overall
better
pullback of
invest
the
in
cryptocurrency
Tron.
market.
Yeah,
They
I
have
remember
delivered
that.
on the project
So if you're watching
CryptoDollars. Anybody
DJ
who
Raven,
is very quick
Garlic coin, he was talking
to
about that shit.
say
He was
Tron
like,
is a
I don't even know.
scam,
There's so many
obviously has a
shit
hidden
coins, you
agenda.
can't
And
remember 'em
anybody
all.
who
Yeah.
is very quick to defend them, these are facts.
Shit
I mean, you
coins.
should definitely be questioning the project.
I wonder if
And if you
Polanco's
defend it
investing.
blindly, you're invested in it, and you have a vested interest in the success of the project, or at least the sentiment of people to be positive, so people keep buying. And I get that. Will the price keep on increasing? Probably. Is it a good project? I think so. I mean, a part of me wants to say yes, and a part of me says no. I try to do so much. 10 years it's a big timeline for a cryptocurrency project. However, as we've seen, technology and price are not always directly correlated, so it is very driven by sentiment. And that's what I would be looking at this project. If you want to buy in, I would buy in. I wouldn't think about it too long term. I would keep an eye on the project. I would keep an ear on the ground if you're invested. And if you start hearing negative news, you want to sell. Well, you want to sell even before the negative news. So you want to try, I mean, you get what I'm saying here. There's going to be some swings. The project could crumble. But if it hasn't crumbled by now, then it might not. They've delivered on the crypto dogs, so I'm happy about that. However, in a normal company that wasn't a cryptocurrency company, a plagiarized white paper would be enough. They would be done. They would be done. However, there's so many fanboys and people that are invested already in Tron that they just keep putting out information, and keep telling people to buy, and people are still buying, and that's what amazes me. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty shocking.
Tron,
however, that's pretty much my conclusion.
It's the only fucking
my conclusion
hype that
is,
they
am I
put on
buying
it.
Tron? At this point, I'm not.
Because of the
Okay,
name.
is the price of Tron probably going to keep going
Tron,
up?
like the fucking
It may even skyrocket,
movie,
probably,
yeah.
because they've delivered on the crypto dogs, and if they keep on delivering on the projects, people will start having a positive sentiment. Well, people already have a positive sentiment because they're ignoring the facts. So that's the problem. Like I said, technology and price are not always correlated. They keep on delivering on the code and keep moving forward. People will keep buying. There's a huge amount of people that are invested in Tron already. Now, we saw the pullback. Obviously, it was an unsustainable pump, but as we move forward and more people buy in, we might see that turn around, and we might see it more sustainable. So, however, like I said, there are tons of projects out there. You don't have to buy into Tron. There are more promising projects out there. That's my point. So if you're on the fence, I would say get off that fence. Don't jump the fence. Don't
but
get in
there's so
Tron's
much
yard.
more other
There are
shit
better
out
projects
there
out
that
there
are
that have more
300% gains
specific
like by the end of next month.
one-track mind on the
Talking about
projects that
yields.
they're going to achieve.
Talking
It's
about
not
all
really
kinds of
utility.
different
Right now,
coins.
Tron
All kinds
is
Yeah.
all just abstract, and the abstract is plagiarized. Rayblox.
Ray blocks. That's a good one. He keeps saying Ray blocks because he's like telling everybody that Ray blocks is one to fucking get into. You don't want to miss out on some of these opportunities.
It's crazy.
Alright. Resteem. Follow that shit. Upvote.